Wittenberg Academy's Latin courses. We are ready for our next lesson in first year Latin. So this is the book you'll want to have out. And we're beginning on page 10. This lesson will cover, this video will cover lessons 3 and 4. So on page 10, lesson 3, parts of speech inflection. In Latin, as in English, the parts of speech are nouns, adjectives, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, and interjections. These are the categories of words, and each language, or at least many Western languages like English, German, Latin, share a lot of this. So as we go through and learn this Latin grammar, this will not only have you learn Latin, but will also improve your English and your ability to learn other languages as well. Let's talk about inflection. The changes made in the form of a word to express its relation to other words in the sentence are called inflection. The inflection of nouns, adjectives, including participles, and pronouns to show gender, number, and case is called declension. That of verbs to show voice, mood, tense, person, and number is called conjugation. Adverbs, prepositions, conjugations, and interjections are not inflected. A lot of that probably makes not a lot of sense right now, but don't worry. As we go through the book, we'll be building on each one of these concepts, and by the end of it, it'll all make a good deal of sense. So, beginning, there are 3 persons, first, second, and third person. So in English, those are I, that's first person, you, second person, and he, she, or it is third person. Those are all the singular. In the plural, first person plural is we, second person plural is you, or in Old English that's ye, or in colloquial English that's y'all, and third person plural is they. Genders, masculine, feminine, and neuter. English doesn't use a lot of genders except in things like boats are referred to as she, but that's about the extent of our use of gender. And 2 numbers, singular and plural. Some languages also have a dual, like ancient Greek. It has some verb forms that use a dual form, but singular and plural. Now again, we have these in English too. English is a partially inflected language. For example, take the sentence, I saw him. That's a normal English sentence. We get most of our meaning in English from the position of the words. So usually the subject, I, comes first. I saw him. In second place comes the verb, saw, and in third place comes the object, him. But English is also inflected. You would not say, me saw him, and you would not say, I saw he. You have to get all the words in the proper case, is what that's called. I is the nominative case in Latin. Me would be the accusative. So, and that leads us here to paragraph 4 about the cases in Latin. In Latin, there are 6 cases. The nominative is the case of the subject. So in our example, I saw him, the word I is the nominative case. Genitive is usually translated by the English possessive or by the objective with of. That is, in English, the genitive is of me, or of him, or of John. And so, I saw the dog of John. In Latin, that would be in the genitive case. Or you could say, I saw John's dog. So the possessive apostrophe S in English is the genitive in Latin. The dative case is the case of the indirect object. It's usually translated into English with 2 or 4. So, I gave a present to him. To him is the indirect object. In Latin, that would be in the dative case. The accusative, it's the case of the direct object. I saw him. Him is in the accusative. I gave the present to him. The present would be in the accusative. I gave the present. The thing receiving the action of the verb is the accusative case. The vocative is the case of direct address. If you're talking directly to someone, you say their name, Bob, how are you today? And that would be the vocative case. In most words, it's like the nominative, similar in form. The ablative usually translated by the English objective with from, by, or with. I wrote the letter with a pen. In Latin, with a pen would be in the ablative case. All right, and obviously we're going to explore more of this and learn more about it in more detail as we go on. So don't be put off by how fast this chapter is introducing these concepts. As we move through it, we're going to slow down and learn each one of them in detail. All right. There are 5 declensions of nouns. We're on page 11 now. There are 5 declensions of nouns distinguished by the character or the final letter of the stem and by the ending of the genitive singular. How we're going to learn them is simply that these 5 declensions, we're going to learn 5 different sets of endings. So again, don't worry about how this is introduced here all at once. And then again, the character or stem vowel generally may be seen before the rum or of the genitive plural. The base may be found by taking away the ending of the genitive singular. Again, don't worry about it. We're going to learn sets of endings, and that will teach you how to form the nouns. Okay, some verses for practice taken from a manuscript of the 11th century. We'll go ahead and do this to practice our pronunciation. And I have a couple students in the room behind the camera today, so I will read this and they will repeat it, and you can repeat it at home as well. O Roma nobilis, orbis et domina, cunctarum urbium excellentissima, Rosio martyrum sanguine rubia, albis et virginum, liliis candida, salutem dicimus tibi per omnia. Very good. And then listen to me. Read it all the way through. O Roma nobilis orbis et domina, cunctarum urbium excellentissima, Rosio martyrum sanguine rubia, albis et virginum liliis candida. Salutem dicimus tibi per omnia. All right.